Hi, I'm Michael Allison, Commercial Director at Roma Finance, and welcome to another episode of Roma Talks, where we're joined by people from across the property ecosystem. I'm delighted today to be joined by Tim Loughman and by Claudine Reynolds, our first returning guest, Claudine, as well. Well done. Who one of the feedback we've had recently was on a recent episode where Jay came on with one of the borrowers who went through a particular transaction. We thought we'd do the same again, and Tim really wanted to come on and share it with us. So, hello.
Hi. Thanks so
us.
much for having us, yeah.
No, it's okay. Well, obviously, Claude, we've heard all about you, so I'm going to keep you to a minimum until
Okay.
at the beginning, because I think everybody would rather hear about Tim
I would, to be fair.
at the kickoff. So, Tim, tell us a bit about how you came about Roma.
We helped with a development in Warrington, and at the time it was just sort of pre-COVID. Halfway through, COVID came in, and then when we was able to go back, we finished it off. And at that point, we, through the conversations we had with the Roma team, realised that finance was available for developments that were often sort of potentially coming our way. We may not have known funding was available, but after sort of working together around that time, we kept it in mind for when something came up.
Absolutely. I think that was a transaction where, unfortunately, the borrower hit a bit of ill health. We were unable to finish, and you stepped in and finished the project for us, which is when we realised we're fantastic lenders, but we're definitely not developers, and we need skills like yourself to come in. So before you landed there, then tell us a bit about your background and what.
So I was a site joiner, just new builds, apprentice till 97. 10 years of that on site, just doing new builds, nothing else really, until sort of 2007 when the credit crunch come. We'd built a little team, and we were told there weren't enough to keep us busy, all of us busy. So we started doing private stuff as well simultaneously. That sort of picked up at pace really, and that has become sort of our biggest thing, doing developments really for other people.
We often find, one of the personas we love to work with at Roma is the experienced tradesperson. And we always find that it tends to always be the joiner or the carpenter is the person who really makes a good go at being a developer. Probably because you see the projects at all different stages.
That's right, you're involved all the way through. Every part of the build needs a joiner there for something. So yeah, that's the reason.
How did you find that transition from going from being always the guy on the tools for 10 years to starting to lead this team? And
yeah, so by about 2011, it was sort of getting to a point where we had to go cards limited and take everyone cards in. So that were probably the most sort of difficult bit, really, going from sole trader with a few lads helping to limited company and taking everyone cards in and vans and all the rest of it. But luckily we've just, that side of the business has just got busier and busier over the years as we've gone.
And then what we tend to find then is people who do that private work and contractors want to become that developer and start to do it for themselves.
That's right, yeah. Because it sort of becomes obvious once you've done a few for developers, you start to think, well, we've got the skill set.
Yeah.
And we get offered the opportunities regularly. It was always just the money, which holds a lot of people back. I think they see the opportunities and don't know that the money's available.
Did you find it hard to raise finance on projects early doors?
We were quite lucky, to be honest, in that we've along the way we've built our own sort of buy-to-let portfolio, and what we would always have to do is fall back on that, refinance, and use that to fund our own stuff. So we have always kept our own stuff on the go simultaneously, but it was always slowed down by waiting until we was ready for a refinance, and then we'd sort of get a draw off it to do the next thing, and it was just slow going.
So your cash is always locked in until you can
Exactly, yeah,
get hold of it.
Exactly.
So talk to us about this transaction with Roma then. So obviously you did the work for us as a contractor to finish, and then you've always been looking for the opportunity to work with us.
Exactly.
Since.
Yes. Yeah. So again, it was a light bulb moment after doing that we could now sort of keep our eyes and ears open for something where we could sort of approach yourselves and say, we've now got something, and we like to sort of raise finance and get on with it. In the meantime, we've tried to steer a lot of developers who've come to us for a build, who've not necessarily got the funds in place, we might say give Roma a call, and I'm sure they can help and hopefully try and speed it up. So, but yeah, finally something come up that was right, and Claudine's sort of worked closely with us, and now it's near completion of phase 1. So.
Brilliant. So tell us a bit about the scheme then. That's what everyone's always interested in, is some real life
Yeah,
example.
of course, yeah. So it was a bungalow on a big plot, an old bungalow. That
It's horrible, wasn't it?
It'd been in the family for years and was empty. So, but the whole plot had big trees on it, which I think no one fancied tackling. So,
Were there
anyway,
any TPOs on the trees?
no. Luckily, we looked into that in the outset, but I think people thought there might be. So sometimes, at a glance, it's probably put a lot of people off. It had the existing bungalow, and it had outline for 1 on the garden, so we knew there was potential there. So we started the conversation about funding, of course, and then the architects sort of looked at the possibility of 2 on the land, which is in planning permission at the moment.
Right.
And seems to be going through. So hopefully we'll finish up with a big detached and a pair on there.
Brilliant. So you've finished the detached at the moment. You're going in for planning at the back.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So hopefully working with Claudine and the team to try and get a DevEx on it and roll the money onto the second scheme.
Brilliant. So different titles, DevEx it here, get the planning, do the development here.
That's right. Yeah.
And
The
keep
title
rolling
split's
through.
going through
Bish,
as
bash,
we
bash.
speak. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. How did you find the transaction clause when it was?
So I think
presented to you?
what strikes me, so that it's really important to mention that there's 2 in this partnership, isn't there, Tim?
Yes.
Tim is very much the tools, the site manager, oversees everybody, but then you've got his wife Sarah in the background, who does all the due diligence, all the numbers, and is in the background making sure everything works and everything happens on
That's
time.
right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
She's
So
in the
Sarah
background
been-
today as well.
She's in the
making
background
yeah,
today.
yeah.
She
sure he
is.
says everything correctly as well.
Yeah.
She's keeping a close eye on him. So I'd spoken to Sarah about a couple of different plots before this one, and there was a couple that we'd kind of gone through and looked at it. And what I really liked about the duo of Tim and Sarah is obviously they've got a construction company in the background, so they've got massive experience, because obviously Roma, we look for experience, and we also, particularly on ground up development, look for kind of assets in the background or some sort of equity in the background. So these guys have already got holiday lets, they've already got buy to lets, and they've got a construction company. It's kind of massive ticks in boxes, and they loved us from the way that we dealt with the other property. So you couldn't get a better transaction really. Came across this one. It was pretty easy transaction, to be honest.
Yeah,
wasn't it? It wasn't too difficult.
Yeah.
I think the issues have come since you bought it, specifically with planning, wasn't there? On the with the planning officer and the stone or no stone.
It was slow
So
going getting the planning through on the first one, but the second one we've learnt hopefully some lessons and
Yeah,
what they want to see,
definitely.
what they what.
The site itself, so if I can kind of, it's on a country lane in effect, isn't it? It's got
Yeah.
stone walls all around
Yeah.
it, but the properties that are next to the house are quite new, aren't they, really, in comparison? So they're rendered, they look new build, they're certainly not stone, are they?
No.
But the planning officer, in particular on the new, because the redesign of the residential property, you
Yeah.
wanted to kind of render a lot of it, didn't you?
That's right.
Which
yeah.
was in fitting with the other.
That yeah.
properties, but
So that,
planning officer didn't think so.
no,
did
not
she?
at all. No. So a model we've used in the past, where we've sort of extended, took the top off it, put an attic truss roof on it, render it, and it's sort of quick, relatively cheap, relatively easy. We thought follow that scheme,
Yeah.
and they just said it's got to be stone up there. So,
Everything around it's stone, she said, wasn't
yeah,
it?
we lost a couple of months sort of back and forth, but the architect sorted it in the end, and we went with the stone, and it looks great in fairness, and speed things up on the next 2. We just put it straight in at stone, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's worked itself out. We've learnt some lessons, and they've asked for a few bits and bobs like bat boxes and bird boxes, which isn't an
Yeah.
issue in the scheme of things. So
Yeah. I think that was
yeah.
one of the only things that came back, wasn't it? Which-
Yeah, so we've done all the surveys, so touch wood, it should move forward with plot 2 and 3 quite easily, hopefully.
Well, it sounds just like the planning is getting easier then. Not at all.
Yeah.
Really. We're yet to see that come through.
Yeah, hopefully, really do. Hopefully, with the lesson we've learned, it should be, yeah.
And the guys that Tim has on site, they've got so much experience. Like your foreman, your site foreman's been with you for years, hasn't it?
Yeah, we are lucky. We've got a great team, sort of from the admin in the office to the site managers, all the lads, like fantastic. We've all worked together a long time. Everyone sort of knows one another's pedigree.
You're bringing some family through now as well, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the administrator in the office, nephew, apprentice brick is a nephew.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so a lot of the family are in the building trade, so we all try and stick together, friends and family.
Well, it sounds like a good culture within the
Yeah,
business as well.
definitely.
That people stay for culture, don't they? Because it
It's-
can be quite a fickle job sometimes.
It can, yeah. It is. The industry's fickle, yeah.
Yeah.
Pound an hour more, and they're over the fence.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try and look after everyone well, and we all, like I say, we all stick together. And
They love it when Roma comes to site with donuts.
yes, yeah. Claudine had them at day one, didn't you, with the donuts, definitely, yeah.
Can I just ask, just for your thoughts on the industry as a whole in building, are you seeing that there is a lack of new people coming into being bricklayers or carpenters?
Yeah.
You've seen a real depth of talent.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard to find someone who wants to be doing it, and often when you do the reality of it, they soon realise how hard it is on a building site, and sometimes sort of change their mind and rethink their life choices. But for those who do love it, it's a good time and a good industry to be in. But yeah, a lot of the college courses are closing down because they can't get kids interested. So it's a shame, really.
And in the world of AI, there's going to be no AI bricklaying or no AI plumbing,
No,
AI electricians.
No, definitely not. No, it's. We've had a good relationship with Tameside College. So at the moment, we've got an apprentice joiner on who's a cracking lad, and an apprentice bricker who's another belting lad, nephew, and we always have an apprentice one after another of one type or another. And the college have always been great.
I think there's a stat at the moment that there's more people who are due to retire in the next 5 years or hitting that age of 55 plus who have a trade than are actually coming into it. So there's a real shortage.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of them industries where a lot of people are sort of retiring, and probably sooner than others, because you don't want to be out there when you're 65, do you? Cold and wet, and
That's why you go into developing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Yeah, yeah. Brains beats brawn, eh?
Only when brawn doesn't work. I guess that's the only time. Good. Okay, so we're obviously doing this scheme. How have you enjoyed being a Roma borrower on this transaction?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Sarah deals with that side of things a lot more than I do. I tend to deal with the site stuff, but if that's moving smoothly, it enables us to just sort of crack on without worrying about finance or lack of.
It's the drawdowns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once that site starts, you can get through. Legals will be legals. Solicitors will take whatever solicitors take. But once you're on site, if somebody comes out, the cash is king. You need to be liquid.
Yes, exactly. You've got to be able to turn on a penny, and if the money's not there, then you've got a problem on your hands, haven't you? So as long as everyone keeps the money flowing, we can do what we need to do on site.
Ethan's been out to site, hasn't he, as well?
Yes.
At the site too, so he's been invaluable in the process as well.
Brilliant.
Which is really good. Okay,
so we've got planning in for 2. So what's the master plan? Is it to do them 2 and then move on to more? Or?
Definitely, yeah. As soon as that'll be a 12-month project as well. So as soon as that kicks off, we'll be looking for the next one to get cracking. Really, yeah. Just try and keep it as a rolling thing. Really.
I think one of the things we see with developers is the importance of keeping the neighbours in close contact, I guess, wouldn't it?
Been talking to next door, a lot, and she's been fantastic. She's been so patient, dead understanding, great with the lads. The lads always get on wherever they go. They've learnt that get the neighbours on side on day one is best. But absolutely, it's been a pleasure there. Nothing's been a problem. People coming and going early in the morning and all that, and she's just been great.
Lovely.
I think Sarah's scoping out some more plots as well, isn't she?
Yeah, always, never stops. Yeah.
Good. So now it feels like you've got this almost like a 3 arms to your business. You've got your private work and a bit of self-build for somebody. You've got your buy-to-let portfolio, and then obviously development for for sale as well.
That's right. Yeah. It's don't have all your eggs in one basket.
But diversification's key, isn't it?
Definitely.
And I think having those three, but with a tried and tested method and team, it's definitely a recipe for success.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've done some developments for developers in the past where at the end of it, the maths has been sort of mind blowing, and you can't help but think, but we should be doing that, and I guess most builders feel the same a lot of the time.
And what would you say to any builder who was, or contractor who was looking to become a developer and do it for themselves? What would you say is the biggest lesson that they need to learn?
If you don't say ring Claude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get on the phone to Claudine. The money's available. That's the point people miss a lot, And I had a similar conversation last night with someone who mentioned they've got a very, very big garden with potential, and I said, well, why don't you develop it? And they said, I couldn't afford to. The money's not there, and like the money is there. You can do it. Just reach out and borrow the money and
ring Claude.
Ring Claude. Yeah, exactly.
It's about finding a way to structure, isn't it? And I think the key thing is that a lot of people think that you still have to go to a high street bank.
Yes, exactly.
To get cash for something, whereas we take it for granted. We live in this world of specialist lenders and development finance. We take it for granted. Everyone knows that, but actually the contractor turning into developer probably doesn't.
They don't, no. And I spend my days most of the day with other contractors and customers who don't know, and that's the truth,
How do we find them, Tim? How do we find more of them?
Well, I think it's definitely sort of becoming more common knowledge through what you're doing with, like, the podcasts and the social media stuff. But, it's still surprising how many people have got these ideas, got, options, but just don't know the money's available. So.
Okay. I think what's interesting for us is a bit like you've said over the past couple of years, while you're waiting for that perfect site, you've done referrals in. Having net promoters is a big thing. People who's walk the walk with a lender, be it Roma or elsewhere, if that's what they've done, and having that referral piece, because people buy, people don't need.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's and again, it's nice to be able to sort of recommend yourselves and know you're not going to end up with egg on your face. I can with confidence say, ring Roma. And they'll be able to sort it out. It can happen. And we'll build it for you. It's so
we'll build it.
Win-win. Win-win. So, if ever someone's got an opportunity and they don't know, I'm always eager to point them in your direction, and hopefully they'll get the money. We'll get the build out of it, and everyone wins. Yeah.
And then outside the work, if you have any time, if Sarah lets you have any time at all, what do you get up to?
I like to ride my bike, go fishing, get to the gym as much as possible, believe it or not. But other than that, it works a lot of hours in the day. Yeah.
It's important though, isn't it, to have that time for yourself here and there, clear your head on your bike.
Yes, absolutely.
Or fishing.
Yeah. I mean, we're quite lucky, and part of our business is holiday lets. So if ever there's any gaps, we can. So we've had a weekend in Yorkshire this weekend.
Lovely.
So there was a bit of a cancellation. So if ever we can, we do take advantage. It's one perk of the job at least.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. Really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we finally got one over the line with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next few.
Definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you everyone else for watching. Thank you.